Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. Frazee Family Foods, what a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar, perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee, and we're happy to be back. We've been gone for about a year from live programming, so they've been running a lot of our stuff out of the archives. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's been quite a year, and I'm happy to be with you all out there again. And a lot of things have been going on in Frazee, even though we've had this shutdown going on. The city has been working on a new retail space downtown where the old Gary's Furniture building was for over 40 years. And Gary had done a lot for the community here. He was on the fire department. His son still is. They had a number of rentals in town. Always a continuous supporter of our projects around the city. But when the housing debacle happened in 2008 and 2009, the need for new furniture was not happening. And so Gary, at the age of being able to retire, decided it was time to pull the plug on that. And we miss him. We appreciate all his business and work and the family's work over the years. But now in the site where the old furniture store was and the old mortuary downtown and laundromat, we have a new 8,400 square foot building that's going to be built this year. And Sipes Pharmacy, Sipe Drug, will be moving into it. We're looking at several other businesses, and then Sipes will be coming down, and Sanders, the old Sanders gas station, will be coming down. And next year, we'll be having the 2022 Highway 87 project coming through with MnDOT, and we will have a cross-city trail from out by the Lions Park all the way through the city to the school. Make it easier access to our parks for the kids and people to ride their bicycles and walk through the city. We look at how can we improve Frazee's infrastructure and get more people outdoors to be healthier and get back maybe to nature a little bit here. But the retail space is going to be interesting downtown, and that will be built this year. Another thing that we're working on is we're working with the National Park Service, the county, the Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails Commission and Council, and the city on the old covered bridge park. And Rena is going to put some of these pictures in for you so you'll be able to see what we're kind of looking at here. But we're looking at approximately a 200-acre park on both sides of the river just northeast of the school and our ball diamonds. And this would be a park that would accept all three trails that are coming through here. The Heartland Trail extension that comes from Park Rapids, going through here, and will end up in Centennial Park and Moorhead when it's completed. The Heartland Trail is the first rails-to-trail opportunity for hiking and biking and snowmobile or multi-use trail in northwest Minnesota. And it was the first of the trail systems to be built in the state relating to old railroads. Of course, the extension is not ran on a railroad, which makes it more difficult to build because we're dealing with public lands and private lands and county and township and state highways. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes to build the extension. But it's a lot of fun. We meet a lot of nice people, and that'll be one of the trails that will come into what the covered bridge park, which is now named Wanigan, after the old cook shacks that were on the river during the logging days. And we have the North Country Scenic Walking Trail that will come through. And our section for the Laurentian Lakes chapter comes from Itasca on up into Clearwater County, down to Tamarack Wildlife Refuge and Hubble Pond, and is now about 8 miles north of Frazee, where there's a terminus of the trail at this point, and the rest is a road walk into Frazee. And that will be coming into this park also. The other one is the Otter Tail River, the state canoe and kayak route. And so all three trails will meet in this park, and we're looking for, this is a concept plan to provide camping and local recreation opportunities for people to be here seasonally, temporary camping, tent camping, and provide the amenities of these three trails, and basically a base camp for people to come and access these trails and also see how wonderful of an area we have here in Becker and Otter Tail County. So, big project. Probably going to take another 10 years. I don't know if I'm going to be here for all of it. But it's another thing to get you outdoors to enjoy nature. And by golly, nature has been interesting here this week. I've been down along the river here picking up some trash and stuff as it comes out of the snow, and watching a couple of goose couples looking for their nesting. And then yesterday there were a half a dozen swans down there picking out their spots also. So the birds are coming. I'm starting to hear new birds singing that I haven't heard since last year, so they're coming up checking us out. I sure hope we continue to have an early spring. The other thing that the city is looking at here, in conjunction with the Frazee Area Community Club, is the Economic Development Authority is taking over the entrance sign on the east end of the city off of US 10, and we're getting ready for a rebranding of the city, just not being known as the home of the world's largest turkey. So a lot of irons in the fire around here. We've had houses being built on in Red Willow Heights all winter, and also down along Town Lake. I think most of the lots are bought up down there now. We've had about 60 homes built in the city in the last 18, 19 years. It's phenomenal. Even though our population has not grown up a lot, our housing has expanded. And I see the reason for that is we're dealing with smaller families now than we used to. Like in my day, there was nothing for people to have 5, 6 kids, and small farms and dairies. And we don't have that anymore. We have smaller families, 1 or 2 children, and we have older people my age that want to come back to Frazee, who went to school here or spent part of their life here or have vacationed here and decided they like it here, just like we do, And we're starting to see the snowbirds come back. It's nice to see some of those license plates. Some of them are early this year. Even a friend of mine who for the first year went to Yuma this winter, and he came back about 2 weeks earlier than he thought. He said it was getting too warm and he was getting bored down there. He needed to come home. And I think we all need to touch base at home once in a while, and that's why I hope this programming reaches you. Even if you aren't here, if you're in another part of the country, you can look us up on Lathan Broadcasting and look up TV3 and look through the archives and see what we're up to, and get a little taste or feel of home. Even if you aren't here, we'll be thinking about you anyway. So as we go along this year, it's dealing with the COVID-19 situation. It's going to be interesting to see how our programming develops in relation to what is medically or politically correct. We like to do a lot of programming with the school district, and we're working on to see how we can do that this year without, causing any issues or for anybody. And, it's just a little while down the road now. The Frazee Sportsman Club always has an annual raffle, and we had it the weekend just before the shutdown last year. Now, this year, we are just going to do a raffle only. We are not going to have a big event at the Frazee Event Center. May 15th, we will be making 200 meals, free will donation to go out the back door for people coming, and we'll be selling 600 raffle tickets and raffling off 15 firearms for you hunters out there. And so we look for your continued support of our organization that helps funding for firearms safety, robotics, the trap team, and a number, 4th of July, or fireworks celebrations for Turkey Days. Do a lot of things working with the kids in the schools, and our local law enforcement, and our conservation districts. So we'll be thinking about you. We hope that you tune in. And you know what? We're going to see you next week on Spotlight on Frazee. So remember, pet the dogs, kiss the wife, wave at the neighbor, and we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.